Talking about, again, the other aspect of the key agenda for the government of Denmark is defense spending. And there has been huge funds that have been allocated for the NATO defense package for Ukraine. How do you view, in the current scheme of things, particularly with India buying the Russian oil, and there has been quite the backlash that it has faced from the United States of America. How does Denmark view the situation vis-a-vis its support to Ukraine in the war that has been going on since 2022?
I think it's important to understand that when it comes to the war in Ukraine, this is seen from a European perspective. This is a clear security threat for us. We have an independent, sovereign country, Ukraine, recognized by everybody, including India, United States, many others, that is invaded by its neighbor, Russia. So that's a war of aggression. And of course, the sentiment in Europe is, okay, so who will be next? If you can violate international law, rules of sovereignty like that, then who will be next? So the consequence of that is, of course, that in Europe, we do understand now that we need to increase our defense spending to deter any further aggression. And as part of that, of course, we will keep supporting Ukraine in this war against an illegal invader. So that will continue. And of course, as part of that, it's important for us also to see what we can do to deprive Russia of the means to keep, continuing this war that is killing people every single day. So that's
okay. Are you supportive of the very strong stance that has been taken by the US president on imposing 25% additional tariffs on India for the reason that he says is India's import of Russian oil into its territory?
I cannot speak for the US, but I can explain the European position here. And I think maybe things have been confused a little bit in terms of that, because the European position here is very clear. And the European sanction regime is very clear. The sanctions are first and foremost sanctions on ourselves. So what the European Commission and the EU member states have decided is to sanction our own companies in terms of what they can and cannot do when it comes to Russia. And the decision that was made with the most recent sanction package is that we do not want in Europe to import Russian oil through third countries. So basically, if India chooses to import oil from Russia, refine it, and then sell it back to Europe, we don't want to buy it. So that's all we say. Whether India wants to import Russian oil for its own consumption and own needs, actually we don't have any particular opinion on. Of course, you could, in the best of all worlds, we would rather they didn't, because it does bring funding back to Russia. But technically we don't have an opinion on it. But we have a strong opinion about avoiding getting Russian oil into our territory. So that's what we're talking about. But it's a sanction on ourselves. So that is the European position, and I think that's important to emphasize.